What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a quick review of album number 8 by alternative metal band Deftones. This one is called Gore, and I had a number of requests for it, decided to check it out. Never been a huge Deftones fan, but at the same time, always respected them, got into them about 5 years ago casually, heard them on a movie soundtrack with their hit song Change in the House of Flies off of the critically acclaimed album White Pony. That album was really just a turning point in this band, it seems. Listened to some of their earlier material and it definitely seemed more aggressive, more in line with like the new metal of the time, and then around 2000 with this album they started playing with these more ambient and off-kilter tones, and it was really nice to see them mixing things up, and ever since then they've put out a string of really well-received albums, and even their last one I thought was actually pretty damn fantastic. Listened to it a couple of times in preparation for this review. Really don't have that many complaints. In fact, it's probably one of my favorite Deftones records that I've heard. Now, this new one, Gore, definitely reminds me of something like their 2006 record, Saturday Night Wrist, their last one before their bassist, Chai Ching, I hope to God I'm not saying any of these names wrong, passed away. He passed away in 2013, almost 3 years to the date of me recording this review, and it was just really a tragic thing. He was in an automobile accident, and then a few years later, ended up failing on life support and did not pull through. And I think that definitely influenced some of the band's writing on their last record and even this new one as well. There's songs here like Xenon that make me think that maybe some of these songs could indirectly be about him, even if they do seem like they're focused on more like a relationship. It still is applicable, it seems, in some situations. Now, with this record, I mentioned it sounding more like Saturday Night Wrist in the sense that it's more atmospheric and a little bit more relaxed, even though there's definitely still those cutting moments where Chino Moreno, the lead lyricist and singer of this band, he's known for these screeches and screams that are just very high-pitched and then kind of soaring back into this more melodic and almost soothing tone with his voice, and that's a nice quality to have. It really makes Deftones stand out as a band to me and really helped me get into them, especially seeing them live with Avenged Sevenfold. Insane show. Chino was all over the stage, owning it. Just great hearing them singing the hits like My Own Summer, Shove It, of course Change in the House of Flies, and some of their new material as well. Now on this record, I'm finding that the problems come whenever things just get a little bit too relaxed and almost tedious to a point where the fact that I don't find any of the lyrics that interesting or appealing or any of the musicality of the tracks. Now on tracks like Heart/Wires, one of my favorites right there. It starts off with a very ambient intro, a big build-up, and then a very cutting chorus definitely grips me, especially with repeated listens. Love, love, love the guitar tone on this track. It's definitely something different for this band, but at the same time, it doesn't sound like them trying to stray too far or totally disown who they are. It's one of those moments that just stands out and sells itself as one of the best things and one of the centerpieces and staples of this record. I think really what gets its point across. Prayers and Triangles was released as the lead single. Definitely grew on me with time. Not really a fan of the chorus on this one. I have to say that it feels a bit stiff and a bit too similar to some of their earlier material, but it has grown on me and turned into, I guess, one of my middle-of-the-road tracks. Not a favorite or least favorite, but it definitely pulled itself up whenever I heard it in the context of a record. I like how aggressive some of these tracks are, but at the same time, how calm some of the others are. Like I said, it's kind of like that calm and chaos factor, and it's a very interesting angle that they play that to their advantage more often than not on this record. It's kind of like coming out of a dream, it seems like. They're awakening and realizing some things. Doomed User is a very aggressive and angry track that shows one side of things, just almost kind of going off on someone, it seems. And I love how furious and intense it is. It's almost a bit like you put your hands up and you're like, okay, whoa dude, let's take a step back here. And then you have the more settle in moments like LMIRL, Let's Meet in Real Life. And no, I don't think that that's necessarily talking about a date or anything. I don't think that Chino's flipping around on Tinder. It seems like it's more like, you know, you're this dream or you're this vision that I've had. Let me pull you back down. And I love how the tracks 6 through 8 just flow together so well. LMIRL is the last of those, but it starts with Cateura Infamente. It's actually a thing from the Renaissance times, and it was actually something that I was familiar with. I knew I recognized it as soon as I saw the title, and it really intrigued me because, believe it or not, your boy used to be pretty into Renaissance stuff and go to Renaissance festivals occasionally and that sort of thing. I don't know, it was a phase that I went through, but I recognized it, and it's talking about paintings that just kind of paint someone in a tortured or defamed light, and it's something that's really, really interesting. It was a different time period, and it's nice to see them writing a track that almost kind of sums up its title. It plays the portrait of a very tortured soul, and whenever they actually pull off an angle like this on the record, make you feel what they're feeling, I think that's when it succeeds. Now that track flows perfectly into what is probably my favorite track on Gore, Xenon, track number 7 here, and it's one that's full of these splitting guitar riffs and these really interesting lyrics. I love some of the lines on this thing, where the lion's at the gate, where the diamond's in your brain. It tells this weird tale, and it's something that I find very intricate, appealing, and I like the kind of loose drum structure on this thing. It really adds to this song's allure. If you're looking for more of those hard-hitting tendencies that this band definitely has, I would look to Geometric Headdress and even Phantom Bride featuring Jerry Cantrell of Alice in Chains. That's a really gripping tune. It starts off kind of minimal, and it builds as it goes on. And of course the title track, Gore, a very aggressive tune as well. It's turned into one of my favorites, in fact, along with Phantom Bride. Now the moments that I don't really care for on this record definitely come in the form whenever I feel this album is in a lull. Often lyrically, sometimes musically, just not progressing these songs forward. I don't really have specific songs to call out because it happens inside of songs. Even ones that I like Geometric Headdress, LMIRL, tracks like that. Even Phantom Bride has a few moments where I just kind of find myself looking at the old watch and saying, like, this track feels like it's running a little bit long. But overall, I have to say that I'm pleasantly surprised with this record. First listen didn't really do that much for me, but the more I sat with it, gave it more listens, I can't say that it necessarily totally won me over, but it definitely pulled me over to its side, if that makes sense. I do think Deftones fans are going to be pleased with this record as a whole. You can't please everyone. Me personally, I'm kind of in the middle with this album. I'm not loving it. I can't say that I'm going to be coming back to a ton of it, but I do appreciate what they were trying to do here. I'm going to go with a strong 3, maybe even a light 3.5 for this new album by Deftones, Gore. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Sorry again for the crappy camera quality. I should have that issue resolved in the next couple of days. Big throwback review this week, and hopefully a couple of others. There's not a ton of albums coming out in the next couple of weeks that I'm really that interested in, so if there's anything that I've missed up to this point in 2016 that you think maybe I should take a look at, possibly review, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to smash the like button while you're here, subscribe to the channel, click directly below me to see either the last review that I did on this channel or another album that you might like. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys very, very soon right here on ARTV.